the institutional push is going to be really important to help retail investors and our government understand that this is a real movement. The world is moving to digital, and we're excited for like a strong economics.
There's a lot of interesting things happening at a merchant level. We interact with merchants every day. How do we make that better with crypto, right? And so there's a lot of thinking and a lot of cool things happening there. I feel those are the kind of things that's going to make crypto sort of like something people think about daily rather than sometimes.
Folks, Flo here with Blockchain North. We're still at Futurist 2023. I'm here with folks from Coinbase. I'm going to let them introduce themselves first, actually.
Yeah, nice to be here. My name is Matheson. I'm the country director for Canada.
Nana Murugesan, I head up international business at Coinbase.
Awesome. Well, first question is a very basic one. What first drew you to blockchain?
Yeah, my story is in 2014, I was living in Silicon Valley and I was playing a QR code hide-and-go-seek contest. I downloaded the Coinbase app and started my journey in digital assets. I've been buying digital assets ever since and been generally just really excited about crypto and sort of the shift into a decentralized crypto economy.
And I have to ask, because I know you come from Shopify, was it a difficult transition?
No, I mean, Shopify is a company that's been thinking deeply about democratizing entrepreneurship for the world and trying to help more people gain financial freedom and independence. And Coinbase also has a very ambitious mission to increase financial freedom in the world and update the financial system. And it's a really ambitious mission, but it's really important to myself personally. And it's a fun challenge to help as many people around the world access the crypto economy.
What about you, Nana?
Yeah, I was one of the early ones in mobile payments way back in 2014. I was in the core launch Samsung Pay team along with Apple Pay, Google Pay. And it was so similar to crypto right now. People were like, what's going on? And I fell in love with new and innovative, disruptive financial technologies. So that was way back. Then I joined Snapchat with Gen Z in 2018. Everybody was talking about crypto. I can tell you that generation is all about crypto. I got into crypto at that time. And I think with all the building that's going on, I feel blockchain, crypto, Web3 is the future, and want to be part of it.
Sounds wonderful. So obviously you guys represent one of the largest crypto exchanges in the world and actually one of the biggest crypto companies in the world, I assume. What is your assessment of the Canadian market from a regulatory point of view, from an adoption point of view? Maybe I'll start with you, Nana.
Yeah, first of all, we have a strategy for international expansion, which is something that we are really doubling down on because as a company that wants to increase economic freedom in the world, that's our mission. And we've taken a strategy of going deep in some countries which have regulatory clarity.
And we'll talk about Canada in a second.
And we're going to talk about Canada as part of that, and then go abroad where we can take more of a approach of where we serve multiple countries at the same time. So with Canada, we are seeing a lot of regulatory clarity over here, and so we're going deep with hiring new leadership. We have a team of about 200 over here, and we have banking and payment partners. So we just feel like the environment here is right for that. The other thing is we're listening to what the customers are telling us, right? The Ontario Securities Commission, they just recently did a survey which said that currently about 15% of people in Canada are interested in crypto. That's going to go up to 30%. Again, a lot of interest and a lot of regulatory clarity that's emerging. Makes this a very good go deep market for us, and we're excited about investing in this market.
Super exciting. And so you've just sort of doubled down on Canada, if I could put it this way. Can you share a little bit more about your commitment, and then we'll talk about regulation?
Yeah, absolutely. As Nana mentioned, Canada's a go-deep market. We're excited to commit to the country and help as many Canadians as possible access the digital economy. We're excited this week to roll out Interact payment rails to 100% of our users in Canada, which makes it really easy for anyone with an online bank account to seamlessly deposit and withdraw funds from Coinbase. It's the number one feature that we've had in Canada for our users, just making it easier to onboard onto Coinbase and deposit funds. And we're also excited to announce and roll out Coinbase One, which is a monthly subscription that brings the best of crypto to Canadians, and it includes things like zero staking fees, boosted staking rewards, and 24/7 priority support, which is really helpful for anyone who's new to crypto. So we're excited to continue expanding our team. As Nana mentioned, we have almost 200 employees here in Canada. We've invested in over 8 or almost 10 startups here in the Web3 ecosystem. We're working really closely with regulators to build a strong regulatory framework here for Canadians, and excited to continue. The work has just begun.
Can you talk a little bit more about the relationship between large sort of incumbents in the industry and the startup world, the entrepreneurs? Is that important, and what can one do for the other?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really important for us to help, raise all boats in this industry. And we've been working, since I've joined 8 months ago, we've been working really closely with a number of companies in Canada. Like I said, we've been investing in a bunch of companies in Canada, but generally, what's been really great since I started is over the last 8 months is our industries really come together. We have 2 strong industry associations now. We meet regularly, we meet monthly with our counterparts to try to align on perspectives that can help us bring regulatory clarity to Canada. And so it's really important that we all want this to be a success in Canada. We all want to help Canadians get access to the digital economy, and it's great that we're doing this in a Canadian sort of friendly way.
And Nana, so you come from the payments world, and as you said, Coinbase just partnered with Interac. It seems like that does remain one of the roadblocks for crypto exchanges, is to actually find partnerships with the traditional banks. Could you speak to that a little bit?
Absolutely. It's really simple, right? We got to get our onboarding and payment rails as accessible as possible before we start building on top of it. And that's what we've been able to do with Interact and with our partnership with People's Trust, a banking partner that's really enabling that. And also we're talking to several other banks as well. So this is really fundamental. We also want to enable other types of things that Canadians are asking for, like electronic funds transfer. We just announced a partnership with Trustly for that, right? So it's really about getting those on and off ramps working. That's how we are going to get the fiat to crypto and crypto to fiat, which is so fundamental to the development and growth of this industry, and making sure that both these fiat and crypto, there's harmony between them, right, as we can move things from one to the other.
So I guess in a sense there is the sort of mental transition people have to make, that crypto is a viable option, that it is the future, and there's also simply an infrastructure side in terms of the on-ramps that are needed, right?
Yeah. I think what people want to see is regulatory clarity. I think Canadians, if they see that there's clear regulation, and if they see that companies are investing in Coinbase, for example, we're focused a lot on bringing the most trusted name in crypto to Coinbase, right? And if they can see that trust, and then if you get those on and off ramps, fiat to crypto, crypto to fiat working, I think that's going to bode really well for this industry.
And of course lend a lot of credibility as well to the industry, because the banks we're talking about are still the dominant players. Every Canadian, or I think 90%, are with one of 5 banks, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I'd say, you're right. Like, one of the things that's like top of our priority list this year is to help as many Canadians as possible understand the digital economy. And one of the most successful products we have in Canada is Coinbase Learn. It's a really simple platform for anyone who's new to crypto to actually, you can earn cryptocurrency by understanding protocols and tokens and different ways of using digital assets in Web3. And so I'm really excited just to help more people understand this movement and this shift into a decentralized financial system, and all across Canada.
And I'm curious, how do you get people who are not interested in crypto, or even skeptical, or even worse, right now, to come and want to learn, basically?
Yeah, I think as Nana said, I think regulatory clarity is so important. It's important that Canadians trust that our industry is being regulated and supervised, that we have a regulator who's looked under the hood and understands how these platforms operate. I think it's really important that we help educate our government so that they have clarity about how they can leverage decentralized finance and Web3 to empower our economy and grow our economy in Canada. And working with all the startups and ecosystems. I mean, there's so many great companies here that we've been able to meet. In Canada, we have a really strong developer ecosystem here. We have over 500 companies in Canada that are building in Web3. We have universities that are building really strong programs across the country. And so I think it's just continuing to help people understand the vision of crypto and the movement to a strong economic sort of financial system.
So I want to ask you both about the future. I mean, that's probably the one thing, no one can predict, but I'm still going to ask you to try. So we did a Vox Pop recently, like a street view interview series where we asked Canadians on the street in Vancouver and Calgary what they thought about, crypto. And here's what happened. I would say 90% were like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't know anything about it. The 10%, which would actually match the statistics we were talking about, who did respond, knew a lot about it, and they were very clear. And one of our questions was, is crypto the future of money? Do you think it is? Or is it a trend or a fad? Every one of those 10% said, of course it's the future, definitely here to stay. What is the future of money and crypto?
Yeah, so we talk a lot about updating the financial system, right? And that's not going to happen just by focusing on retail trading, which is a great way we got started. That's great, but we're very, very focused on use cases. That's going to make crypto mainstream. How do we make sure that there's value in crypto every day, multiple times a day? Similar to how people see value in the WhatsApps of the world. That's what it's going to be all about. So what I'm really excited about is how do we figure out identity with crypto, and how do we get like those several use cases like lending, sending, and remittances, all of those things. How can crypto make it more efficient, right? And there's just so much activity that's going on at Futurist and with the developer community to kind of unlock those use cases. That's going to make crypto a daily part of our life. And I feel like that's when crypto is going to truly become mainstream. And those are the type of use cases. And the last thing that I want to mention is the last mile. There's a lot of interesting things happening at a merchant level. We interact with merchants every day. How do we make that better with crypto, right? And so there's a lot of thinking and a lot of cool things happening there. I feel those are the kind of things that's going to make crypto sort of like something people think about daily rather than sometimes.
Anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, I think society is ready to move beyond the confines of thinking about digital assets as purely a speculative retail investment. And this is a movement into a completely new financial system. I think for me, it's just a lot of education and helping people understand not just the daily use cases of using identity and using digital assets to buy goods and services and the day-to-day things that we do in our lives, but to help people understand that this is a global mission. We're trying to help billions of people around the world who are underbanked or unbanked get access to financial products and services.
Including in Canada.
Including in Canada. Coinbase's mission, as Nana mentioned, is upgrading the financial system and helping bring billions of people onto a new digital ecosystem and platform. And so I think we're on the cusp of seeing strong utility in the market and use cases for people to use on a daily basis. And we're excited to help do that. And it's exciting to see so many startups here that are thinking along those lines and innovating and trying to understand how we can build strong utility on decentralized systems.
Yeah. You've already shared a little bit of a prediction, but I do want to ask finally, it seems to me that the narrative around crypto is changing, but I'm curious what you think, what are your surest predictions basically for the coming, let's say, 2 years?
Surest, again a crystal ball. There's a lot of interesting things happening with smart contracts and getting and empowering creators to have more say over what they are producing, like which you can do through blockchain, right? I think in the traditional model, those who are creating don't know what happens to what they create. And I see a lot of beauty with what blockchain enables on being able to use that technology to have more of that end-to-end value being captured by the creators. And I think we need to figure out what those are. I think smart contract is one aspect of it, but there's so many things where we can bring the more value using blockchain and crypto back to the creators. I think that a lot of that is going to happen in the next couple of years.
I'm nodding profusely because we're content creators ourselves, so that's music to our ears, of course. Anything to add to wrap us up in 30 seconds or less?
Yeah, sure. I'd say regulatory clarity is so important, not just for retail investors, but institutions. I think as Canada gets regulated and regulates our industry, and I expect by this time all the platforms in Canada will be regulated, our retail investors will have more confidence in this industry, our institutional investors will have more confidence in this industry, and everyone from investment advisors to money managers and portfolio managers will start understanding how to diversify wealth into this asset class. And I think the institutional push is going to be really important to help retail investors and our government understand that this is a real movement. The world is moving to digital, and we're excited for like a strong economics, decentralized digital asset ecosystem in Canada.
It's obvious. I can feel the energy. Thank you guys both very much.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Very nice speaking with you.